All right, tell everybody who you are in your own words.
How's everybody? My name is Carroll Jr. I'm a carpenter, home remodeling expert, amazing worker, and I'm here for a makeover. I need it, I want it, and I'm ready.
And so what's your biggest challenge right now, Gary?
My biggest challenge is, I've been doing this for probably like 30 years, to be honest with y'all, and I'm still on 1995 prices with pricing my workout, and so pricing, hiring people, because I don't have leverage.
Okay.
I'm still hustling, like what you don't like, you don't like that word, but that's what I do. I'm a hustler, and so that's about it.
Okay, and so what is your goal? What do you want instead?
I want leverage, I want freedom, time freedom, and, some good liquid money.
Oh, liquid money. I thought you was talking about liquid. I'm like, I don't know how to create a strategy to get some liquid. I mean, like, can't you just go and buy something? Okay. All right, so how many jobs do you currently, how many projects do you work on a year?
Probably about 40 to 50.
Okay, 50 projects a year. And what do you charge on average? I know that there are some things that are different, but you have an average?
Probably 5,000.
That ain't enough. Okay, and are you doing these by yourself, or do you have workers that you have to hire out as well?
I have a partner.
Okay, and between you and your partner, that's all of the labor for the project?
We don't have any, what you mean labor? I mean,
like to get the work done?
Yeah, it's just me and him, but we have reinforcements when we need.
Okay, and so on average, if a project is 5,000, how much of that is profit? It's okay to say you don't know if you don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know. Probably about a little more than half.
Okay.
About 60%.
60% is profit? After you pay you and your partner, you have 60% left over.
I got to split that ahead.
Okay, so
split
30%.
the profit ahead, yeah.
Okay. And how long does it take you on average to work a project?
About a week.
Okay. So when you say you want leverage, in order to, if you wanted to work more projects, so let's say we wanted to increase the number of projects a year to 100, and we also wanted to increase the average project to 15,000, how many people would need to be on the team with you for you to be able to cut every job down to 2 to 3 days? On average, because I know some are going to be longer, and those that are longer are going to cost way more. But if this is what you wanted to do, what would you need to have on the team to do that?
Probably about 5 people.
Okay. And who would those people be?
I don't know. I don't have them yet.
But what kind of workers would they be? Like, are they skillsmen, or are they general?
They will be skilled
okay.
People, and so probably 3 skilled and 2 laborers.
Okay. Awesome. And then who is responsible for the back-end administration and management of everything that's happening?
It would be me.
Okay, so you're the bottleneck is what I'm hearing you say, right? And so when we're the bottleneck, we are the reason why we can't get to where it is that we want to be. When you price, this price includes cost materials?
Yes.
And do you do any markup on the materials?
Very little.
Okay, and why very little? Okay, so part of the reason why I chose Gary is because he's a business that's atypical for most of the people that are in the room. But one of the things that he should be doing is he should be marking up the materials, because he has the inconvenience of getting the materials for the client. He's creating a convenience for his client. So when you are the creator of the convenience for your client, it costs more. Right? So you're already leaving money on the table right there, because you haven't taken into consideration that it's your truck, your wear and tear, you doing all of the stuff to make it easy for the client. So you're actually creating customization, right? Customization is not cheap. Customization is synonymous with exclusive and high end. But if you are considering yourself like the dime a dozen contractor, then you're missing the mark. Anyone who's bringing someone into their house to do something special, because everything is special, right? People ain't calling you to ask you to take a light bulb and change it, right? So if I want customization, then I expect to pay. Probably the reason why you're getting 50 projects a year that are making it hard for you is because your price point on average is really, really low. But we could, even if we didn't accelerate this, but we accelerated this, you would come out at the same place or better. So one of the things I really need for you to do is to truly evaluate the projects, right? So you're gonna need to really get clear about the labor costs, the materials costs, and the amount of profitability you want the company to enjoy on every job to make sure of that. And you've got to charge more than you're charging because you're already splitting. So this 30% doesn't even really get to stay inside of the company. That's so you can live. That's almost like your pay, right? So this needs to get factored into this first number, but then there needs to be another number over here that is your profit. Because you can't get ahead. It's the reason why you're the hamster on the wheel and you're a hustler. And I mean, you shouldn't be a hustler, baby. I just had to do it. You shouldn't be that, right? You should be able to not have to be there and know that your skilled laborers are actually handling it. So you just come in and are part of the cross-track or the QA process. You're the QA. If you're the one who's getting the deals, so you're in the main office with your admin, because you're definitely going to need to get someone who does the paperwork and creates the systems for you, because that's probably a part of the reason, too, why the jobs are taking as long as they are, because you don't have somebody who's managing the project. So you need admin or a project manager that you need to put on the team, and then you need to be able to sit in the business development seat. So when you show up on the job, you're just making sure that of these 5 people and potentially your partner, everything is going the way because you have to sign off on it in order for it to be done. If you were actually doing that, you would have time freedom because you're not spending 7 days a week on a job, potentially in order to be able to make the kind of money, and that's low. It might actually need to be $25,000 now that I think about it in order for it to be a customized job. What would it do? What would it do to the way you show up in your business if you knew that every job was starting at $25K for the customization?
It would definitely catapult up.
Yeah, and what if you didn't take on the jobs that were less than $25K? What if you focused on these? So if we did the same 50 projects a year at $25,000, can someone multiply that for me? Tell me what that is, right? And we did it, how much? $525,000. And we did it in an average of 3 days per project. That means your team is working 150 days a year. So that means they got half the year and they're not working, but your company is doing $500,000. And we already know that paying your skilled laborers is going to be a fraction of what your costs are. And these numbers, of course, are me pulling them out of the air, so I want you to cross-check to make sure that they're right. Huh? 1.25. I thought that was low. Okay. I was like, that don't sound right, but I'm going with it because I don't have a calculator. So now you have $1 million company, Gary, with the same 50 projects you're doing a year, 5 times in what you're charging for them and setting yourself up to have time and money leverage. How does this feel to you? We got 1 minute and 55 seconds, so do you have any questions I can answer?
No, I see it. I know the problem, and one of the problems is I don't have time for the business development.
Yeah.
Because I'm always
right, because you're the bottleneck. Right.
And I don't have the leverage, so I see it.
Yeah, and if you're making this kind of money, you can afford to pay an admin project manager $50,000, $60,000 a year to free you up so that you don't have to deal with it, so that you can do the part that you love, which is connecting with the people and getting them, showing them what's possible. I can see you going into people's homes after they gave you an idea of what you want. You've created a schematic of what it could look like. So you're actually selling them into a $25,000 thing because they weren't even envisioning that it was possible for their project to do that. And then that becomes part of your unique value proposition and your messaging, and what you share out in the marketplace is why people come and talk to you, because you inhabit the project for your client. You're able to visualize and see exactly what they need in order to take this project and turn their home into a place that is luxurious. Right? You see what I'm saying and what the messaging is like? Those are the types of things that you're going to have to do if you really want to get off the hamster wheel and set yourself up for a substantial change. Do you feel like you just got a makeover for your business? Give them a round of applause.